Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jessie. This is Playful Moon Tarot. So grateful to have you here today. In today's Pick a Card reading, we are going to be checking in with your intuition to see what messages have come forward. And so, whatever card that you guys are drawn to, 1, 2, or 3, all of those timestamps are going to be down in the description box below. And if you would like to book a personal reading, also that information is going to be down underneath the timestamps. Let's get into your guys' readings. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your reading. So you were drawn to the Revolution card, and the Dragon ally that came out is a Luminaire. And so right away, what this Revolution card is telling me is that there is something within like your emotional body, your intuition. There's something in the seat of your emotional body that is kind of coming through. And there's a sense that you really want to make some radical changes in your life. And I feel like your intuition has been gearing you up for this and trying to show you the next steps to take. And I feel as if there's some holding back because of being scared, feeling timid, not being ready, and maybe almost not accepting the change because change is really hard. And especially when we're on such a path, right? Like when a revolution is pretty extreme, right? Like that's a pretty big word. And I feel like there's a lot of messages in your emotional body. And so I'm going to also do some Reiki today to kind of help integrate this part of you. But I feel like from the depths of your sadness, there is this place of change because the Three of Swords came out. So I just was pulling the tarot as I was talking about this. So we have the Three of Swords, we have the Four of Swords, we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the World. And so I feel as if this place that this fire is burning from, and there's like a real sense of anger and sadness. And when we are in those spaces of feeling a lot of anger and sadness, there's definitely some change that's about ready to happen, because anger is there as like a guide to show us that this isn't working. And it's also a secondary emotion. Typically, when you are angry, it's because you are covering up something that was very devastating. And so my guides are here to say that the reason that this situation is so heartbreaking for you is because it's supposed to be a catalyst to get you to the next space, right? It's shining a light on the things that need to change. And sometimes truth can be really painful, but like they're asking you to be open. Like, wouldn't you want to know the truth rather than like living in a lie? And that's a very specific message for somebody, because the Nine of Wands is also here too. And the Nine of Wands talks about like this energetic burden. So not only is there this energetic burden that your intuition is trying to talk to you about, but there's also a sadness. And I feel like for a lot of you, you'll know exactly what these two cards are representing, but there's a deeper message here in which where you're at right now, you guys are dreaming bigger. You guys want something bigger. And that's only going to happen through these changes and through this, because you have the World here as like where you guys want to go and where your intuition and where your soul would like you to get to, right? Like this is kind of a a destination card or an outcome card when we go through these changes, when we go through these cycles, and when we allow things to kind of fall away that need to fall away. But there's also a message here from the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords talks really about two things: resting and redirection. And so your intuition has been trying to tell you that the current situation that you will know, and it's going to be different for each and every one of you, but that this current situation is too heartbreaking for you, and there's too much emotional baggage where you're at. This is not a place that is going to sustain this kind of abundance, okay? And so now, whatever that is, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be a living situation. It's going to be different for each and every one of you. But your intuition is letting you know that this fire and this water energy, these two, I see it as kind of like anger and sadness. You can identify it with how you want and what resonates with you. But these two kind of like polarizing feelings are trying to come together to shed light on the places and the things that need to change. And you're being redirected. Your soul and your intuition is trying to redirect you away from these situations that make you feel a lot of heartache and that make you feel a lot of, like, with the Nine of Wands, you feel fatigued. You can have like real physical symptoms. You could be getting headaches, anything like that. And this is asking you to go into that place of quiet and rest and really get connected with your intuition and really start to explore those emotions and letting those emotions flow. Because when you cry, it like cleanses you. There's like a cleansing that happens. And it's, really hard for people to cry sometimes, right? Like we feel like crying is a weakness. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. And it's also really purifying. It's cleansing. It helps to kind of clear that clutter in our mind, right? Clear those thoughts and feelings out, feel it. And then we can like ask ourselves, what do we want to fill these spaces? What is going to make us feel understood and appreciated and supported? Where can I find more abundance in my life? And not necessarily in the material possessions, but more of like support from the people around you, okay? Instead of feeling heartbroken with interactions. Feel like you get energy, right? Like be around people that energize you, okay? Be around people that support you. Be around people that make you feel nurtured, okay? And there's almost a sense with this like Nine of Pentacles that it's like the bear isn't worried so much about catching like all of these fish, because this bear knows that like more is on the way, right? Like he's stocked up, he or she is stocked up for the winter. He's doing good. There's not too much concern. There's like this acceptance of like co-creating with the universe and understanding that when we really listen to ourselves and our heart space and our intuition, we really can get transformed and end up in a place that is much more beautiful than we ever thought possible. And so your intuition right now is just letting you know that this heartache, this energetic burden, and like this fire, like they're saying like don't be scared of the fire. Like anger is there to like motivate and to say like when you get so angry like with a job or a relationship or whatever it is, when you were just like, think about it. Anger is like, I'm done. Like, and it's telling you like I'm done. We need to move on. And then there's a sadness with that, right? Because we are letting go of things that once brought us joy. And maybe they continue to bring us joy, but maybe there's just too much of an energetic burden around these things for you. If you really stop and get quiet in your mind, maybe it is a little too energetically draining. Maybe there's some heartache here with some interactions that maybe it makes you feel okay, like kind of for the most part, but there's these deep-seated things that your intuition is like, this is not sitting right with me. And it could just be that you're growing and you are becoming more aligned with the things that you want to bring into this world next, okay? And you're shifting out of this phase. And there's a real sense of really wanting to do something different, really making some big changes, okay? Really, really, really going after some of these big changes. And I'm hearing, you're going to clear the big obstacles. For people that feel like they've got really big obstacles in their way, you can work through it. You are going to clear it. Like, it's going to get cleared away. It's going to get resolved. The world is success. And the world also talks about sometimes having to move. It could be travel for vacation, but it also could be a relocation. Maybe you guys just need to get out of your current environment and move to a totally different place. And maybe you're really scared and you're holding yourself back because you at least know what you know now in your environment. You know what to expect, even if it's draining and it's hard on your heart. It's like you still know it, right? So I just really want to encourage you to move towards those things that make you really happy, the sweet successes of life. And so I want to pull a little trinket for you guys. And a little fairy came out. A little tiny fairy came out, and there's almost a sense of like, remember to be playful. Like, in the face of these things and these challenges, try to welcome in some of that playful energy, because I feel like it will reignite your soul a little bit, like getting in touch with your inner child. Dance just to dance, put on a funny movie just to laugh, try to kind of get out of those spaces of this energy and try to just give your mind and your body and your soul just kind of like a break from this, and allow yourself to experience this. And go out into nature, get grounded. There's a real sense of maybe being around either a campfire for some of you, if you're more drawn to the fire aspect, or if you live close to water, you can go to a waterfall or the beach or the ocean, something like that. Both of those can be cleansing, okay? Both, like sitting by a campfire and having all that smoke. It's not good to just sit there and breathe in the smoke, but it is cleansing. It cleanses our aura. And the same with the ocean. Being next to that water, it's very cleansing. So either if you don't have those and you're kind of like landlocked and maybe it's not good to go out and do a campfire right now, maybe you can watch a YouTube video or do a meditation that has like some water sounds, or they have some of those like campfires next to a lake, something like that. Do a meditation, do some journaling. Really kind of embrace what those changes are as you're ready, right? Don't force it, but there's really some beautiful messages in here for you guys. When you feel ready and when you feel it's going to take, for some of you, some of that courage, right? To look at some of these things inside. And so I'm going to drop into a meditative space. So if anybody wants to receive some of this Reiki that I'm going to send out with this reading, just say yes. If not, this is the end of the reading. So I hope something in that resonated with you. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe. And now I'm going to drop in and send out some Reiki for anybody that wants it. Okay, guys, thanks again so much. And I'm sending you guys lots of love and lots of light. And as always, love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And I will see you guys in the next one. And I hope you. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. You guys were drawn to the shock card. And with this card also comes the Luna Dragon, which makes sense because with this card, something really big just happened in your guys' life, okay? There's a real sense of some real big loss. And when we go through a loss that is this abrupt, we are definitely going to feel it in our emotional body. And Luna, the moon, really talks about our emotions. And so that was the perfect dragon to come out because your guys' emotions are definitely really really strong. And I'm going to be sending out some Reiki energy at the end of this video. So for anybody that wants to stick around for the Reiki energy, that will be available to you at the end of this video. And so, or sorry, the end of this reading. Okay. So we are going to pull some tarot now to kind of clarify this message. And I really feel like, so whatever just happened for you guys, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. I want to say that there is, when we experience loss like this, like the loss that you guys just experienced, it really can leave us in a debilitated state. And I really want to honor that because you guys are really, it's just like, I almost can't even really express the words because as this says thunder above and thunder below, it's like really hitting all the different angles. It's really hitting a lot of different points of your center in your body, in your mind, like internally and externally. Okay, so 3 of Wands and 5 of Wands. Really tough energy. There's a definite sense of pause. I know that down here, this for the 3 of Wands, it says freedom. But right now, what this card is representing is almost like being paralyzed. Like you guys don't really know what the next steps are because this was such an abrupt and shocking change for you guys. It was so like it hit really hard. And the Chariot here is here with this sense of like you guys want to move forward, but what I'm feeling the most is that you guys just want to like try to escape this situation and get away from it because it's too painful and it's too much. And there's this sense that it is it's really life-changing, really life-changing. And with the Fool here, that tells me that some of you guys have been pushed onto this new path, whether you wanted to or not. There's a sense that this situation happened. And what your intuition is trying to show you is that there are other opportunities for you. And I get a sense that a lot of you are going to be moving or restructuring, getting a different job, like whatever has just happened has restructured so many things and you guys feel really lost and really like you're not quite sure of what this path is ahead. But there is a reason for this loss, okay? Whatever this loss is, there is a reason for it, because there's always a reason, right? Even if we don't understand what the reason is. But there's this real sense of a new beginning coming in for you guys. And this loss was the catalyst for that new beginning. And when I am hearing that new beginning from my guides, I'm seeing like you purchasing a new home. I'm seeing people moving across like states away and really like reinventing your life. I'm seeing new job opportunities. I'm seeing like there's a real sense of loss, but there's this sense that once we can get through the pain of that loss, that there's some real good opportunities that are headed your way. And we also have the Hierophant here. And I feel like you guys are moving towards like good structured opportunities because the King of Swords is also here too. And what I'm hearing too is just like good, solid, structured opportunities that are awaiting you. But there's going to need to be some patience with how you are going to integrate these emotions and integrate such a big change in your life. And so for anybody that maybe just lost a person or a pet, those are really big changes. And I get the sense that some of you may have been caretakers, that this is a very specific message for somebody. So when we are caretaking an elderly pet or person, that can kind of take away us giving to ourselves in our own life. We become very focused on that other person. And when we lose that person, then there's that big kind of empty space, like, and we get reminded on a daily basis, at this time I would be doing this, at this time I would be doing that. You look at the clock, I would be doing this. And there's a sense of we kind of have lost a little bit of ourselves in this, but it came from that good place. It came from wanting to care. So this is a very specific message for somebody, but these new beginnings are really this opportunity for you to get back in touch with yourself and what is going to make you happy. And that everything does come to an end. There is a cycle. And it's really hard to accept that sometimes, but the acceptance part of this is what is going to help move forward. Okay. Not that we're not forgetting, not that we're forgetting. We're not forgetting. We are just embracing that life has presented us with this change. And now it's time for us to kind of move forward and go see what these new opportunities are. And if you were caretaking somebody, that person is watching over you. If you were caretaking a pet, that pet is watching over you. And they're going to be wishing you the best, right? The best of successes on this new beginning. Because this new beginning, you also are going to have trust and faith that you will end up in a I don't want to say a better space, right? But in a space where you can find some peace and find some harmony and find some of that acceptance, right? Sometimes we have to put distance between ourself and that loss, that thing that happened, the shocking event that happened. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of distance to be able to find that acceptance. And really allowing yourself to kind of pause and be open to your emotional body and maybe work with the phases of the moon. So The new moon is all about planting seeds, planting intentions, what we want, okay? And the full moon is about celebrating what has come to fruition, and also at the same time releasing. And our emotions can be very heightened around the full moon because it's really shining a light on the areas of our life that we need to look at, okay? That our intuition, our guides, source, spirit, God, who, whatever you believe in, our emotions get very heightened when on a full moon, right? Especially in areas of our life that need attention. And so this might be a very specific message for somebody, but start to research the phases of the moon. And I feel like for some of you, you guys will really find some comfort and some support in those phases. And so I'm going to pull a trinket for you guys. And it's a little paw. And so with this, like, it's really like I just heard the word loyal. Like, you guys are really loyal. And you guys aren't, by accepting the new beginnings, you guys aren't being disloyal to somebody's memory. And again, that might be a very specific message for somebody, but you guys aren't like casting your loyalty aside. It's moving forward and embracing the new beginnings that are going to come into your guys' life isn't taking away from anybody's memory, anybody's legacy, anything like that, okay? If anything, you're taking them with you. It's like these paw prints are also walking in your footsteps, okay? So whoever you're carrying with you is also being carried with you every step of the way on this journey. And so I'm going to go into a quiet space now and send out some Reiki healing for anybody that wants it. You just have to say yes. And if you don't want it, that's fine. This is where I'm going to leave this message. And I just want you to know that I'm sending you lots of love and light. And I will now go ahead and drop into this space of Reiki. And thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, group 2, thank you so much for being here. I am sending you lots of love and lots of light. I hope something in that message resonated and brought you some ounce of comfort during this time. And as always, love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. You guys are drawn to the card of repairing the damage, and the dragon ally that came out to be with you is the Gaia dragon. And right away, I'm getting the sense that doing some grounding is really going to help you. That mountain above and the wind below what I kept getting in the meditation is this real sense that your guys' emotions are really kind of being blown all over the place right now. Because, okay, I really wish you could have seen that. These cards just like shot out. Hold on one second. That was like a magic trick. Oh my, okay. Okay, well, here are your cards. All right. Sorry, excuse me. There's a real sense of needing to be grounded right now. Grounding meditations are going to be really, 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 really helpful for you guys. And so we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Star, and the Two of Pentacles that all came out. And so my guides are letting me know where to start. Okay. Okay, so there's, with the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles, I'm just hearing like a lot of emotional damage. There's like, I don't know if you guys have been bullied. I don't know what this damage is. This is going to be so different for each and every one of you that is drawn to this reading, but I'm really getting the sense of like energy, like they're like energetic exchanges, like you're either giving too much and people are taking too much. They're not respecting you. They are maybe, I'm hearing energy vampire. I don't really like that term, but because that's what my guide is saying right now, I want to be authentic with the message and use that. Not my favorite term, but again, just trying to be authentic. Energy vampires, people that are really draining your energy. And also, I'm going to go back to the bullying thing. I'm feeling, because this Five of Pentacles is really about being out in the cold, being out. The original Rider-Waite tarot is literally figures outside in the snow, and they're like looking in the window, and the house is all warm, and everybody that's inside is warm and happy and cozy and taken care of, and they're eating wonderful food and everything's great. And you have this sense that you have been purposely placed on the outside. You have been rejected from this. Like life is rejecting you. And how this is really coming across is I really feel isolation. I really feel like you guys have been isolated from a group. And I'm really picking up on like a work atmosphere, or it could be school or any other atmosphere, home. But there's maybe because a big part of like a big portion of you that are going to watch this read, it's more work related. But there's a real sense of isolation and like watching the community around you all connected, all happy. I'm really getting this sense that you guys have been excluded. Like not for a reason, like not that there should ever be a reason why somebody gets excluded from a group, but it is a sense of bullying. And I want to tell you that people that are beneath you are going to bully you because they want to knock you off of that higher tier because they see you as being better than them. And bullies don't like it when people are better than them. Okay, this could be as simple as you are really skilled at what you do and you show up at work and maybe you have put in the extra time and requirements it takes to get a certain level of education or something along those lines. Maybe you've just been doing this job for a really long time. And even if you're not at management level or like a supervisor level, you could be, right? Because of the knowledge that you have. People find that intimidating. And what do people do? They want to knock you off of your, what they perceive to be this like pedestal, right? So that's a very specific message for some of you. I've been there and I'm sorry, but I learned from it and I grew from it. And I'm hoping that you guys can grow from this situation too. It's unfortunate that it happens, but typically what I would do is when I would find that I would leave and go to a different place, things got better, unfortunately. So I just really want to honor that with these two cards, that there's a real sense of like a mental draining and a energetic drain. This is, and it could be both or it could be one or the other. This situation is either very energetically draining for you, mentally draining for you, both, okay? Because to constantly combat being bullied is like, it takes a lot of energy, right? It really does. And I feel like you guys are juggling with the decision of maybe wanting to leave that place, maybe wanting to leave that environment, try to go out and find something that's a little less toxic, is what I'm hearing. They're really saying the word toxic. Grounding down into Gaia. So a really great meditation you can do is when you, especially if you're like an empath or a sensitive person, you are taking that energy on, and I want you to give it back to Gaia in a loving way. Okay? Do a meditation and ask for these people's energy to be cleared from your energetic field in a loving way, okay? In the best, highest alignment for everybody's good, okay? Even the people that are not being kind to you. Give their energy back to their higher self, okay? Any energy that is remaining that does not go up to your higher self or the other people's higher selves, go ahead and give that back to Gaia. Ask Gaia to take it and use it as fertilizer to make something beautiful. Because what is fertilizer? It's poop. And it is other people's poop, right? That they put on us. And I'm just going to say that word because I could say a lot of other words right now, but I'm trying to keep it classy. So the star card is here too, because the star card, when we are in a very dark place and we start wishing for something to change, for something to come in to bring us hope. Okay, so when I pull the star card and when I'm in a really dark place and the star card comes out, I'm like, oh, thank heavens. That means that one of these wishes that you're hoping for is going to come true, okay? So be mindful right now of what you want. What are you juggling? What are the things that you're deciding between? Are you wanting to stay? Are you wanting to go? Do you feel like there's opportunities in better places? What's going to be sustainable? Is the current place that you're in sustainable? Or is it time to think about something else? And that's what I feel like the Two of Pentacles is here, because you guys are like trying to make a decision. And the star card's here to be like, yes, go forth, make a decision. We're trying to help you. Because staying in your guys' current place just might be too much, because the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands and the Five of Pentacles, I'm like, that really tells me something needs to come to an end. Like a decision needs to be made. Either you are going to take the appropriate measures to, this really feels work related. So I'm just going to go out on a limb for the people that the work side of this really resonates. It's kind of like, I feel like you're kind of like, do I go to management to try to get this resolved, or do I just leave? And that choice is going to be up to you, okay? Depending on if you want to walk away from your hard work, but you will know, right? You know best. But the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands, something needs to come to an end. So either the bullying needs to be stopped and like really stopped, or you're going to need to leave. And I hate to say it, but I also have to be really authentic with these messages, because I'm definitely not here to, paint a picture that's different than what Spirit is giving me. And I'm sorry that I'm not always the the bringer of the best news. But with this Nine of Pentacles, and then you have the Queen of Swords, and I think it was the King of Swords. Oh, sorry, King of Pentacles. Okay. You guys have some really great things to look forward to, okay? With the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is attainment. And I feel like they're showing me like this little choice that you guys are going to make that's going to lead in another direction. It's like these over here, these little ideas, okay? Whatever one that calls to you the most, if you follow through with it, I feel like it's going to grow. Like this little pentacle is going to grow and it's going to become this, right? And look, she's like sitting here and she gets to look at all of the beautiful things that she created, because the pentacles talk about here, like the creation, like the physical manifestation of our dreams, of our wants, of our desires, of our work, right? Like really coming down into the 3D. And I feel like that's what these are. It's like these little tiny baby ideas, right? That then can grow and become this beautiful thing that brings you attainment, okay? And in this space, I feel like you are feeling so much more at peace and harmony, and that your wish came true. And so with this King of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, so the Queen of Swords, she's going to make up her mind, and she is going to be very mindful. And I'm also hearing like boundaries, you know, being very firm in your boundaries, right? Really making the decision, these are my boundaries, this is, and then sticking with that. And the King of Pentacles, I mean, I also feel like this is you too, right? Like you have the attainment, like it took some work and it took some time and you needed to be patient, but it paid off. And not only do you kind of become more masterful with your thoughts and ideas and where you're going to allow them to lead you, but you become really masterful in how you keep creating and manifesting these things down into the 3D, down into the earthly plane. And so I'm going to pull a trinket, but really doing some grounding meditations and not letting your emotions like blow you all over the place, like not letting other people rock your boat, which I know is really hard. I mean, I know it's really hard when you're in kind of that small group and you're really trying to stay strong and stay sturdy, and it's just everything around you is just whipping you up, and it's, you know, it's really hard to stay grounded and focused sometimes. And so moving forward, really think about where you want to end up, what you want your life to be, and what's worth it as far as what you're gonna put up with. Because let me tell you something, the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles, they don't mess around, okay? They're like, these are my boundaries. They are sure-footed in what they are going to deal with. And so your little trinket that popped out is an owl. And owls are fantastic, right? Like what's really coming to me is that they see in the dark. They see through the BS is what my guide is saying. They're like, they see in the dark, they can see the bigger picture, they can see small things down on the ground. So really take some time to get grounded into yourself, down into your earth star chakra, do some meditations. If you live by a mountain, by all means, going and sitting by a mountain and like releasing that energy too into Gaia that way, because being around mountainous energy is very grounding and very like structured, and it will help you to not be so blown about by the winds of others. Okay, it will really help you to kind of channel in this sense of self. Okay, because that's what the king and the queen over here know the best. They know themselves. Okay. And that's like one of the big main messages in this. And your wishes will be granted, okay? With the star card here, things are really going to start to change for you once you start to make these steps. It's going to require work. It's going to require commitment. It's going to require some focus and some time and some patience. But really allowing yourself to make those decisions for your greatest good will really help to lead you in a good direction that's more fulfilling for you, and get out of these spaces where you feel cut off and alienated and they're saying made fun of. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to bring a message that that that's sad, because I really feel your guys' sadness right now. I'm going to drop into a meditative space and also send you guys some Reiki too. If you don't want the Reiki, that's okay. This is the end of the reading for you guys, and I'm just going to send you guys some love and light if you want that. Otherwise, I am going to drop into some space and send some Reiki healing out for those that would like it. So... Okay, group 3, thank you so much for being here with us today. Sending you guys lots of love and light. And as always, love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And if something in that message resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. You guys take care, and I will see you in the next.